Hey there, welcome back to Red Seat Secrets, where I dive into the fiery world of politics right from Capitol Hill. Today, I've got Senator John Kennedy doing what he does best, grilling banking officials for straight answers. In the Senate Banking Committee hearing, Kennedy was on the hot seat with four financial experts: Kelly, Harrison, Podsiadly, and Rice.
Senator Kennedy.
Mr. Rice, you think we ought to raise the deposit limit to 20 million, right?
And that's for payroll accounts, sir. Yes.
And Mr. Harrison, you agree with that?
I think that'd be helpful, yes, Senator.
Mr. Kelly, how about you?
The recommendations we put forth, Senator Kennedy.
Just give me a number if you would.
I don't have a number. Our recommendation is it needs to be studied and empirically based.
Okay. Mr. Podsiadly?
Yes. Yeah, thank you, sir.
My colleagues are impressed that I can pronounce it.
I'm very well done.
I'm kind of impressed myself.
I used to get a lot of starts with a P going in my undergraduate and high school.
All right. I'll call you Scooter. How,
I'll take that as
give me a number.
I would agree with Mr. Kelly that it needs to be empirically based and that.
Come on, guys. I know it ought to be empirically based.
Okay, well, I'll say this. The one concern that I do
work
have.
at FDIC. Give me a number.
Yeah, well, the one concern I have is some institution loading up on a significant number of $20 million deposits that then ultimately.
So if you don't like 20, give me a number.
I don't have one off the
You're
top.
not going to give me a number.
I will give you my best guess, which is that 250 is not high enough, and 20 million is probably too high.
How much?
I said 20 million is probably too high.
Okay.
Because I worry about.
Let's suppose we go to 20 million.
Yeah.
Banks are going to pay this through assessments, right?
Yes, correct. Risk-based.
Okay. Mr. Kelly, who's going to push back among the banking community?
He asked a simple question: should the deposit insurance limit be raised to $20 million for payroll accounts? Seems like a yes or no question, right? But what followed was the classic Washington dance. Mr. Rice said it'd be helpful. Mr. Harrison nodded. Then Mr. Kelly chimed in about needing to study it empirically. Seriously?
Senator Kennedy, I'm not sure who will push back on that.
All right, Mr. Harrison?
I think there's some smaller banks that will feel they don't need it. Their deposit accounts aren't that large, and they would be, not as willing to do that. I think some of the banks that currently have coverage for free will likely push back.
Some of the what?
Some of
larger
the banks that have implicit coverage
Some of the larger
for
banks?
free. Generally, the larger.
Some of the larger banks?
That is correct.
So you think the larger banks will oppose it?
I don't think they'll support it. I don't know if they will oppose it.
How about you, Scooter?
I love the new nickname. I will take that as a warm regard. But
It is.
I would say that my bigger concern is the aggregation of deposits.
Who's going to push back?
I don't know that you would have any institution that would push back other than as
Everybody be happy.
well. It depends on what the cost is, right?
Mr. Rice, who's going to push back?
Not our 144 million members, sir. They'd be delighted that their paychecks are guaranteed.
Who's going to push back, though?
The bankers, sir, the large banks.
The large bank.
They're not here today, and I think their silence is implicit on their stand on this.
Okay. So here's what I hear you saying.
Kennedy wasn't looking for a research paper. He wanted a number. And that's when you could feel the tension rise. He said, "Come on, guys, I know it ought to be empirically based. Just give me a number." Then came the Scooter moment. Kennedy nailed the pronunciation of Podsiadly and joked, "My colleagues are impressed. I'll call you Scooter." Laughter filled the room, but Kennedy quickly turned serious again, pressing for a number. Finally, someone said, $250,000 isn't enough, but 20 million might be too high. Kennedy shot back, "How much then?" Silence. No one would commit. Kennedy shifted gears, asking who would push back if the limit was raised. The answers started flowing. The big banks, those with implicit coverage, and the ones who get bailouts. Mr. Rice summed it up. Our 144 million members would be thrilled. The bankers, not so much. Kennedy wrapped up with a challenge. We've got a problem. We need a number, index it to inflation, and figure out who's against it and why. He was calling out inaction, demanding leadership and clarity.
20 million indexed to inflation, but the large banks are not going to like it because they have an implicit guarantee. Does anybody disagree with that? Does anybody disagree? I certainly don't with Senator Warren's assessment that the big banks don't have to worry about it because they're going to be bailed out. Somebody disagree with that? Okay.
Well, let me add a little color, Senator. I think perspective. So I led a committee. And
I'm sorry, sir?
I led a committee that included banks of all sizes.
Right.
And one of the things I learned in leading that committee is that there is a lot of complexity associated with the prudential regulatory aspect of those larger institutions. Their liquidity requirements are very different than mine at $700 million a year. And so it's something that I had to become sensitive to as a leader of that group. And so while we sit here—
Kelly, let me stop you. I understand. You're a smart man and you're a successful man.
Well, I appreciate the compliment.
And I
Senator.
appreciate that. But you're telling me here today, all of you, we've got a problem. And
Correct.
we're not going to, this isn't directed toward you, sir, but we're not going to solve this problem by pondering our navels. We're going to have to come up with a number and index it to inflation. Taxpayers won't pay, the banks will pay. And then find out who's going to push back and why. I mean, that's the challenge. I understand the difficulty and the nuances and the trade-offs. I get all that.
Thank you.
And you make, I don't mean to denigrate your analysis, because you know a lot more about this than I do. But you're saying we have a problem. I'm asking how we solve it. And what I'm hearing is $20 million, index it to inflation. The larger banks are going to raise fresh hell.
So what do you think? Should the deposit insurance limit be raised? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to Red Seat Secrets. Until next time, keep seeking the truth.